This feels like deja vu. So it's great to have you back. You were here earlier this year. And I think today's topic, your conversation last time here in Atlanta, to me, kind of was the birthing for this conversation, which is all about rejection.
Yeah.
You have a powerful testimony. What would be two things that you can share here on the blue carpet before we get into the discussion about how you've overcome feelings of rejection?
Well, first of all, let me say that you're one of the best moderators I've ever seen. During that last presentation, I thought the way you moved the conversation was dope. And I don't just give compliments, so just so you know that. And I even told you that when you interviewed me, too. Okay, cool. So let me first say that rejection has been the biggest motivator for me, because every time somebody says you can't have it, you're not ready, it just makes me go and do it and prove them wrong. For example, I'll throw the Wendy Williams show under the bus. When Wendy season 18 opened up, they asked me to host the show. And I was like, they called me and said, it's the call of a lifetime. I'm like, okay, well, it ain't Jesus. So when I'm on my way to heaven, that's the call of a lifetime. But what's the call? They said, do you want to host the Wendy Williams show? I said, of course. I've been following the blueprint. Wendy's my friend. And then they said, okay, well, what does the show look like? I said, Monday, I'm going to bring Tiffany Haddish. Tuesday, I'm going to bring Cardi B. Wednesday, we're going to bring Mariah Carey. I'm going to call all these people. I told them basically I produced the whole show. And they said to me, yeah, but who's going to co-host with you because you're not big enough? Wow. And I said, well, it's kind of crazy because if you look at the numbers, I beat Wendy's social digital footprint. I interviewed Kanye West, 3 billion impressions. Sherry Shepherd's got no more than 900,000 an episode. And I look at him like, well, what is the measurement for being ready? And I realized I was talking to a white man. And I realized that the white man was talking to a black man who owned his shit. And so what I realized is that we were trying to have one conversation from 2 different places. So while he was rejecting me and saying I wasn't ready, I knew that the people I was bringing to the show, they couldn't book. And so I also realized that them feeling like I wasn't ready wasn't rejecting me for not being ready. It was the fact that they were threatened by the fact that once I touched that seat, they would have to offer me my own show. But I didn't get mad. I did put them on blast a little bit in a nice little messy way because that's what I do. But what I did was I took a step back. I started building the Jason Lee show. I ended my podcast. I ended Gagging with Jason Lee. I spent thousands of dollars building out a dynamic set. I hired a producer. I hired an Emmy award-winning consultant to help me build the structure of the show. And then I started talking to people like Madonna and Rihanna and people that I want to come on the show because I'm going to fuck them all up in the numbers. The other thing I did was I went to Wendy's house and was like, girl, we about to pop out at the Met Gala and we about to shut the fucking internet down because I'm going to show the show that said I'm not ready, that the host they say not ready is out. And she looked ready to me.
But can I just say, first of all, I was coming to that because I think that so often we don't look out for each other, right? So when you came out with Wendy at the Met Gala and you were like, the queen and the king are here. First of all, I was like, for those of us that have watched Wendy and love her, I thank you for having her back. Because I feel like a lot of people have turned their back on her, because she's going through some issues, and that's not how we need to be. But for you to do it, someone that's followed her and has risen in the ranks that you have, your testimony is inspirational. It meant so much. Can you talk about that night? Because when I saw those pictures, I was like, oh my God, he did it.
Yeah, I had a +2 to the party. I only asked for 2, so I was going to bring my friend Sean, who's my art director, and I wanted to bring somebody special because I knew that everybody from Billie Eilish to Donatella Versace, everybody was going to be at that party, and I wanted to share that moment with somebody who deserved it. And when I thought about Wendy, she's somebody that the show has tried to keep away from me. Her management team has tried to keep away from me. They took her phone from her. And finally, once she got her phone back and she was able to get in touch with me, we both agreed we're going to stay together and make sure we burn this internet down if we have to. So I took her out to dinner the day before. We spent 4 hours hanging out, and she looked fresh, she looked rested, she looked well, she sounded great, and for the first time, I was able to put eyes on her. And she made me pay the bill because Wells Fargo is still fucking with her money. But we had a good time, and then I knew that was who I wanted to take. And so it was interesting to see how many people were surprised to see her out, and she had a great time. And we just had dinner the other night, so she's doing great.
Well, we thank you for doing that. That shows a lot to your character to go back. Like, we can't forget those that paved the way. So for you to bring her with you, that said a lot. Thank you so much, Jason. We're looking forward to hearing from you.